I'm trying not to get upset, but it's very upsetting what I've had going on when it's literally these systems of police and the predictive policing that are out here is literally staging up the crimes that are happening to me right along with my brothers and my father, suggesting that my eyewitness to rape of my the rape that my father did to my sister is like a mental health thing of mine when it's like my real lived experience. So when this betrayal hit, it hit home, and it's really hard to suggest to like all of the facts that were leading me to know that these people were actually after me to kill me. It's like it's really hard to just like not only determine those as facts, but really reach the discovery of those facts when my reason ability of reason and finding reason in my brain was being arsenic poisoned and washed away from me completely from like an early age onward. And so much like Stockholm, this is kind of why I say that my story is not relatable to people in any circumstance of the fashion, but I know what the truth is, and I know how these things have been operating inside of life in general, and I'm not trying to like get upset about it, but the fact of the matter is that I haven't had even 5 minutes of my own natural life outside of this abuse, truthfully, because right now I'm being placed in a situation that is just horrendous. It's been one thing after another. And so that's why I'm sharing my story out here publicly. And it's not real easy to do, but it's basically like my trying to reach through the algorithm that's out here in order to hopefully get to a character, an influential support that can help me within this situation. Because it's not mental health. They legitimately want to make it mental health so that they can convert the tracks of a whole lot of criminals performing against me. And so I need that to be made sense out of by people that listen to my content. And if you don't side with the idea of it being possible to be arsenicked and poisoned or roofied or what have you, just anything that these people can perform in their crimes against me, then just don't listen further. So, if you are on the side of believing and reasoning through these things that literally people can deal with, like a horror story, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally a bunch of movies out there that are based on true stories or based on true events that I believe that people have capacity to understand this stuff. So, corruption and powers at play really have a heavy suggestibility as far as like the reasoning is concerned, based on the fact that there is corruption. Heavy. We have like a serious occultist problem inside of America. We have a heavy satanic ritual abuse problem inside of America. And we have heavy, like, criminal actions within America. So, though these people want to make my real lived experience a mental health thing and a mental health thing alone, it's crazy making narcissism or crazy making from sociopathic or malignant narcissistic, covert malignant narcissists, which are the very worst narcissists. But this stuff really truly hit home when it was designed to kill me. And so when my heart basically slows down and it's from a cyanide attack to like literally like 5 beats per minute or whatever it was, really too slow. Like I should not have lived through what the attack was. I do believe in God, and I do believe that God can support us in our health in a times fashion. Like something happens like that at the snap of your fingers, you go to God about it, and I believe that God can perform what God does. God can do what God does. And people don't have to believe that way to understand my story, but people should see that that's what I was literally left to multiple times throughout my life, not just at this moment in my life where it was going to kill me, but many stages of my life where I thought the poisoning of arsenic could have and quite possibly should have killed me throughout my life the same ways. And I couldn't reason through where it was coming from, or even reason through that my brothers could perform a crime against me to this magnitude, but it's my lived experience, and I have to tell the truth about what is and has been going on inside of my life. So, right now I'm dealing within a situation that since then has been people staging up my life by hacking my content, literally stealing away the time, energy, and resource of like paying my phone bill or paying my internet bill, to literally trying to establish a support system of an outreach out here online. And they're not trying to even allow me to that, which is why they hack my accounts and my accounts disappear and get taken down. Like literally within minute, like not even having a minute, you have time to like go into your email and say that you are who you are, to gain access back to your account, get back on your account, change your password. But by the time I was on my email, they were already on my page. They had gone into my account settings and suggested to take my account completely down. Like I don't want it there anymore or anything like that. So as soon as I'm trying to get my password back through the email, that account is already taken down by the hacker, which in my personal experience of knowing a guy for 28 years, it's been him, and it was him the entire time, because I literally have memories of where he would be inside of my life when things would be happening to me to these levels that just without any other suggestibility of source for the person that it could be, there's no other person, and it's been him. And so this was a proxy made relationship, or a proxy made, circle of friend, or person that was supposed to be my friend, but it was all created in this fashion to continue a poisoning that my brothers couldn't always do, and then they as well played up to create proxy relationships to steal my love life away from me, or the availability of having an organic love life outside of the proximity of their proxy warfare, their gang stalking, their targeting, their harassing me. And so when I was suggesting even to the reality that I had been living at the time, people just don't have too much availability of understanding this stuff, which is why I'm trying to explain it in multiple fashions. But since then, it was like my water being shut off in the timeliest of fashion, trying to stop me from working, because I had already lost 2 jobs up until that point, and I had one job and maybe a few side jobs that I could operate and still perform. So even though I was trying to do those things, I did get my water eventually got turned back on, to barely make enough money to like make it happen, because they've been targeting my finances like crazy. Just it's all about sabotaging a person's reality from them to make them seem as though they're eroding all upon their own behalf, but that's not what's happening here. If that were the case, it would be just mental health, and that's just not the case. These people aren't allowing me to work. They're not allowing me to reach through and or reach breakthrough to break through that algorithm that they're creating out here to hack me, hijack my name, create the identity theft, and literally perform identity erasure. And what I mean by identity erasure is like the systems that are involved in this crime against me are treating me and my person like I'm already dead. It's really strange. It's really hard to deal with, but it has to deal with the fucking fact that my father raped my sister and that these people involved, meaning my brothers, to even perform to the levels in which they have, need to somehow save their faces, save their image, so that they can't be exposed to the levels that I'm trying to expose them here. So next thing you know is that you get your water turned back on, and the next thing that goes is your water heater, because they had time with it being shut off to get it turned back on. Now the thing doesn't work correctly, so it's like you're paying bills that you otherwise wouldn't have. You're paying extra on bills that it wouldn't actually be that much extra if you were just left alone and allowed to work and allowed to actually work to your workmanship and carry out inside of your life with, you know, the 2 jobs, for an example, that I had that ended. I had no control over that. I had no availability of reasoning that these things were happening, which is why I think it's really strange that I can't legitimately ask for charities, churches, even UCAP or like the Salvation Army or the system in general to help me with this heavy duty crime against me, instead of allowing them to literally utilize the crime to prevent me from reaching discovery and getting closure on the case that these people are trumping up against me now, which is just another whole side of this event I've been talking about online. So go back in my content if you are confused there. But so then I get the gas turned back on. I finally have hot water, and now it was like 2 weeks ago, my electricity shut off just in time to stop the exhaust pipe breathing out of the home for something to be sent into my radiator, or into my furnace, I should say, so that it started shearing something inside of my furnace where it went out. So now it's like they're not only trying to freeze me out of my home, but they've been performing this identity theft to steal my house away from me, steal my time, my energy, my resources, my love life, my, you know, or of an organic love life or an organic way to work, to then establish my license being taken away from me, being revoked from me even. Like, as if that makes any kind of sense based on the identity theft that these people are performing inside of my life. It's literally like a war crime that the system is just being allowed to be embedded in place to aid and abet the criminals. And the reason that's happening is because there's heavy corruption in the state of Minnesota. I think that we're literally hitting the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the fraud that's being discovered in the tunes of billions that are going over to Al-Shabaab through the Somalian community, where I've literally seen these people getting 2 and 3 times the amounts that a person would normally receive from Health and Human Services, so that not only can they feed their kids, they can have excess money, excess cash assistance, even getting 7 years tax-free, but also utilize that EBT to get the food to run their businesses, to make money in that way as well, which I've seen as well online. I personally believe it. I don't know what you all believe. I could care less at this point what people believe or not believe, because people want to deny their Father in heaven. And so now with them having access to my house in the time of shutting off my electricity and getting it to turn back on just in time to send something in through that pipe to shear out the furnace. Now it's like they're not even sending in enough gas to supply the hot water to make it hot. And it's cold outside, so they're literally trying to freeze me out of my home, not allowing me my own time and energy and resource to be like working in any kind of direction other than trying to get help within this very serious crime. Because literally the police aren't doing their job concerning this crime. The system is making me out to be the criminal for all of these thousands and thousands of crimes that have been happening to me the entire time that I literally couldn't see happening because of how badly they had me poisoned up left and right. And then because Jesse and my brothers couldn't continue poisoning me to the levels in which they needed to, it was the same proxy to keep me within proximity of this crime to have me staged in a relationship again, just as they did before with Emily. This chick Emily that has close ties with my dad being my stepsister and being my brothers, and being that my brothers are protecting my dad's account. I don't know fucking why you would want to protect that smarmy ass piece of shit, but that's basically why I'm coming out here to speak my truth, speak what I saw, and then speak what happened to me after what I saw as a kid growing up, like literally still a baby in diapers. And so I know that there's certain people that do believe what I'm saying and do believe and know that these things are possible, but I need your guys' help to get this stuff out to the public in a way that reaches hopefully some kind of disclosure as far as being able to get the help that I need. You see, otherwise these people are literally staging my life to murder me, not allowing me any kind of social life, any kind of availability in my life, because they're hacking my availability of growing outside of the crime. You see what I'm saying? That's how badly that these satanic ritual abusers are working these days, is that if you see a crime and you want to speak out about a crime, then you're being targeted like a motherfucker. It's literally you up against 100 other places and 100 people or whatever, they have within their syndicate to perform these crimes against you. And so I don't like it. No other target out here likes what's happening to them. No other person that's being gang stalked is going to just suggest like that what they're doing to them is tolerable, because it's not. It's not. Like, I don't have any kind of organic me anymore. Where, like, I personally feel like I would brighten up, I would be smiley, I would be happy, go lucky me, like, I would be myself again. And I would work really hard to hone in on that. God, I keep hearing that sound, and it's just pissing me off. Oh, I go look, I go outside and I look, don't see anything. I go downstairs, I look, I don't see anything. But it just keeps on happening. And it's not just like normal house settling sound. I know what that sound sounds like already, being in this house for this long, but... So anyway, because they've staged my life up against me financially and the financial sabotage, I'm sitting like, I don't know, like $42,000 in debt. And it's in ways that they're not even trying to allow me to like try and start working on and chipping away at. They've literally taken away my availability of working. And like, I don't know what to do for work when it's like literally anything I do is being prevented by these people through a very covert design, mind you. But it's basically, they hide behind plausible deniability with like ticketing me, pulling me over, not doing anything within this police station, the precincts that you bring information to, literally admittance to poisoning me, even, and like other things, and say they want to like suggest it's a joke. That's not a joking matter at all, when I'm legitimately saying that, and I've been saying it, that it's true. So it's just a huge dumpster fire that's being placed over my life. I would really like it if I could get your support in any kind of fashion. Like, it doesn't have to just be financial, it could just literally be physical support. Showing me that you would care enough to help me get through this stuff to where I could, I don't know, figure out just even how I could move, like what I could do here in this situation. Like, if I have to go to work and like leave my phones behind somewhere, like tape them onto the back of a semi going in the opposite direction in order to like get away from syndicate or whatever I gotta do. I just don't know what to do, okay? That's like basically where I'm at. I don't know what to do about this crime. It's been my whole entire life. And I would really, literally just like to live my life outside of the abuse from these people and what they're doing to me. And so, just look, if you can support me, please do. If you can like and share this content, please do. If you have any kind of suggestion that you could leave in the comments, and other ways that you can get a hold of me, I'm on Facebook. I share it all of the time. I'm Cobra Savvy Ninja Murden on Facebook. Please add me, inbox me, start a dialogue with me. I don't know, just be a supportive person with what I have going on. I don't think it's fair to be murdered in this fashion, like spiritually or physically. Obviously I'm spiritually fucking murdered by what these people have done to me, but they literally were trying to physically murder me too. So it's like the assault, it's my home life, it's my family life, it's my work life, it's my availability of taking a hot shower, it's my availability of like at times to be able to like figure out what to eat, how to get to places to like get things that I need. It's literally staging it around every corner. Like right now it's like saying that it's a omnibus hearing for their crimes that are making my fault. Obviously it's like to make me pay for their crimes, basically. There's what's happened before when I was poisoned up, by the way. I've had to pay an awful lot of money for their crimes against me, while the Department of Labor and Industries doesn't even have to go after the job that I was working for. It's in the tune of like $3,000 or over $3,000 that these people owed me, that I needed that money, and then they're like charging me that and then some while I'm sitting there homeless, like fighting this abuse. It's pretty monstrous of a crime, and it's been going on to me forever. So I need people to believe that this has literally been a day in and day out, week in and week out type of situation over my whole entire life. And for me to get to where I'm at now, and then have these people do that after that much that I had to fight through to get a house in general. Like, fuck these motherfuckers, dude. Literally, fuck these motherfuckers for what they've been doing to me. Which is exactly why I'm asking for your support here. It's recently discovered that 50% or more of charities in Minnesota are fraudulent, sending money into offshore accounts and yada yada, or like protecting the Somali community to, I don't know, just a bunch of bullshit, dude, that these people are working within inside of our system, and it's corruption. It's fucking corrupt as fuck. If people don't literally have the availability of their spiritual eyes to have the lenses that they need to see through these things, then I'm sorry, but you're an idiot. You're just a fucking idiot. You want to protect these clowns being LGBTQ XYZ? Go ahead. But you're protecting people that legitimately are, like, going to kill you for your sexuality. And these are people that legitimately want to protect open borders. I mean, make it make sense. Like, you want to allow these illegals to come into your country, protect them to come into your country, while supporting some pride flag of your own sexuality or whatever. You know, to each their own. But the fact of the matter is that if you're protecting these people to come into your country, you should really think about who you're protecting to come inside of your country, because it can literally be like however much of the fentanyl or whatever they need to do to have a person in place who has shit for brains that wants to perform a crime, putting stuff inside of your water where you go and make coffee with the water in the tap one day and all of a sudden your heart palpitates until you're dead. I mean, is this really what people, like, literally don't want to accept the reality of what we're living in these days? Because it's warfare. It's literally warfare against Americanism, patriotism, freedom in America. So I don't know where we go from here in just the general of, like, the politics, the political arrangement that is being welcomed by none other than Tim Walz to, like, be a complete dumb shit. But the fact of the matter is that if we're going to stop this stuff, we need to get active and we need to start supporting one another who are dealing with these heavy, heavy crimes. If we're going to be supporting the original Constitution, which it never should have been altered into this a lifestyle choice of the living Constitution or whatever they want to call it. It's literally subverting the origination of the Constitution of the United States. And that's an act of treason. That's legitimately what should be displayed on national television, that these people want to side with those people to get away with these crimes and get away with the treason and the tyranny. It should be displayed on national television, these people being hung at high noon. Nothing else. Nothing else. And by very minimum, they should be the ones going into the jails for what they are fucking doing. Not the innocent people with their trumped up ways of creating a crime out of thin air over the victims who are just trying to expose the crimes. So you know that you're run by a complete cabal, a complete syndicate, when exposing crimes is seen as the crime itself. So anyway, I know that everyone's all in a dumpster fire these days of, like, what they want to believe and not believe, but I'm dealing with a very heavy crime and I'm just really hoping that I can get your honorable support out here. If we can work together, even if it's like 10 of us, we could make a huge dent in the reality that we're living. And that's what my goal is. So anyway, I hope this makes it to your repertoire of thinking process, because I really need your help. I'm really telling a lived experience of what I've been going through. So thanks for being here. Till next time, peace.